Roll for history.
18.
16.
Nat 20.
Wait, are you guys serious? Oh, I got an 8. Shit, hang on. So we're on this bridge, right? We're in the past. We're on this bridge. In the future, the bridge was broken. So we went back to the past across the bridge when it was not broken. I pushed someone off a bridge as bait, and then
Incited a riot.
Incited a riot. All hell breaks loose. Kalt traps a bunch of Stoneholm beasts, which are the guard dogs of the Magelords. Traps a bunch of them in a force wall bubble. Maeve turns into Sonic the Hedgehog and runs past them. Locke actually tries to help Bait, but still hates Bait, so that was kind of fun to experience. And then when everyone's past the ball of dogs, Bait turns into an eagle to try to get above the situation as they're all moving. Then Maeve says, let's go back to the future, and Bait says, "Rah!" and doesn't go with them. So they all go back to the future, but they almost don't because they're so tired from the spell that Maeve cast that Locke has to like boomer on Zoom trying to figure out how to work the crystal and get them back to the future. Once they're in the future, they encounter they're going through the dilapidated city on the other side of the bridge, and they encounter the familiar of the warlock that seems to be hunting them, and spring a plan to try and have Uge face off against it and use that as a trap to lure the warlock in. However, in the past, Bait got shot out of the air by an arrow, used a crystal to go back to the future, and splatted right down on the ground in between familiars.
Sick.
I made it, guys!
Okay. Enter scene. You know, but Bait has just like fallen down, hit like building and scaffolding along the way, like in that scene from John Wick 2. I know I made that reference last episode, but I'll do it again.
Continuity.
It's been 2 whole weeks, Chowder. It's totally fine.
It's just continuity.
He's on the ground. He's really hurt. And as he gets up and looks up, he sees this fairy. Yeah, Bait, what do you do, man?
He, grasping his bruised limbs, he goes, hello, my name is Tangledor. Could you point me to the nearest facilities? Bait is not aware of Uge behind him.
Yeah.
At the sound of Bait's voice, Maeve is going to poke her head up over the rock that we're all hiding behind and just be like, Bait?
What? Bait whips around. Oh, well, that's fortunate. What's this thing?
It starts to fly away, by the way.
Is that good? Is that bad? I know it hasn't been long, but...
I'm going to try, I guess, at this point, shoot it out of the sky, I guess.
Magic missile.
Actually, do I even have that prepared? I don't have it prepared, so that's awesome.
I will magic missile then.
If you guys don't, I also have a thing I can do. So like,
I have magic missile. So if you have a thing that's
I'll
better
try
than
and
magic
shoot
missile,
with firebolt. I'll try firebolt. That's at will. Ooh, that's a 2.
I will magic missile that bitch.
Magic missile that bitch.
16 damage.
All right, it is gone. In a poop of smoke, the sprite is gone, and which, you know.
So Bait immediately after asking like, is that good? Is it bad? It just fucking like explodes next to him, and he's just like, okay, what are we in the middle of? And Bait is gonna try to scurry back to where they're hiding.
That was the familiar of the warlock that's been hunting us down.
Bait, are you okay?
There's no time. We have to find a new hiding spot, quick.
Yeah, I was trying to make a break for the castle. We might actually have a shot here since there are arrows shooting us down. He like kind of scratches his leg. Chowder, is this like a walled city area, or is this very open?
The city, it is walled.
Okay.
The whole city's walls go into the castle.
Okay, gotcha. So, okay. Are we near those walls, or are we like kind of like in the middle of the big like,
You're
downtown
in
area?
the middle of the city. Yep.
At Locke's suggestion to get to new cover, Beta's going to say, I was trying to make a break for those walls. Without anyone shooting at us, we can probably get up there. Keep the high ground, stay above him. Easy line to the castle.
I see no flaws in this logic.
Let's go.
I mean, who knows? Maybe there are more flesh masses up there. Maybe, I don't know, all the dead friends I was just trying to go save, their corpses are strewn around. There are more skittery bug people. Who the fuck knows? And Bait just, like, is aggravatedly yelling at himself as he makes for the walls.
I will follow Bait.
He yells that, right? So...
Okay, can I not say yell and say that I was, like, under my breath, just kind of...
I don't know. I mean, I just want to say that you've kind of... notified some scary
I'm
mother.
saying I want to say I didn't yell.
But you did say
I'm batting my eyes at you, Chowder.
He's definitely making a stink. That's for sure.
He's definitely making a stink.
I am making a stink. No matter the volume, there is a stink happening.
Look, man, I'm just gonna say, some creatures notice you. You may want to get a move on.
Yeah. I guess
Fair.
I shouldn't be litigating this after we actually exploded a fairy and I just fell out of the fucking sky. They're probably aware, so I'll shut up.
Very fair. All right, let's hustle.
You're going towards the nearest wall.
Yeah, I imagine that we're no longer heading directly toward the castle. I imagine that we're going in the same direction the bridge was pointing, just like until we hit a wall.
You're doing just that, and I'm just gonna let the dice decide. So yeah, nothing particular happens, and you make it to the wall. As you pass by, there's a few buildings between you and the wall. What do you guys do now?
Is there an obvious staircase, or is this going to be, or are there ladders, or is it like busted to the point where we have to find our own way up?
A roll to find. I would say either investigation or perception,
I got a 16 investigation.
Are all of us rolling investigation?
if you want to.
Sure. I got a 19 investigation. 10 plus 9.
I got a 14 team.
25.
All right. So you, with a little looking around, you managed to find not like a door, but like, a tunnel type thing. Something that the guards would have used to like get on the walls to, do lookout and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got like a spiraling staircase going upwards.
Cool. Bait is going to poke his head into the doorway. And can I make a perception just to see if I hear any of like those creatures, either the skittery guys or the flesh masses?
Yep.
Boop-a-doop. That's a natural one. I bang my head on the door.
Yeah, you bang your head on the door. You're like, ah!
Could this day get any worse?
As you get shot in the face with an eldritch blast.
Anyways, yeah, you don't really perceive anything.
You're blind. You don't perceive anything.
I perceive nothing. So I just start going up the stairs.
You're going up the stairs. I assume everyone else is following suit.
Yeah.
What's your passive perception, Fate?
My passive perception is pretty good. It's a 16.
Okay. Well, luckily for you then. Yeah, just as you're about to take another step, you realize that the stairs beneath your feet kind of stop because, now we've got some broken stairs and like
The stairs are also dilapidated.
no, shit's dilapidated. What can I say?
Damn it.
Anyways,
So much dilapidation.
yeah, I mean, like, so what you have here is like, the stairs going up, and then like, some broken gap, and then the stairs will like after the gap, like there's some stairs leading to the top, as it were.
All right. How far is the gap from the last stair on which I stand to the next like handhold, foothold, or full stair?
25 feet.
Holy hell. Okay.
Well,
That's
it's
kinda-
not like, okay, maybe that's a little misleading. Like it spirals, so like
Oh, so like it's above us. It's not like in front of us.
It's above
it is
you,
up.
yeah, is
Oh,
what I'm
okay,
saying,
I
yeah.
gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Bait's just gonna look up. He's gonna hold his hand out behind him to stop anyone else from stepping over the edge. In case that was a risk, I guess. Bait is gonna sigh and cast dancing lights to make sure that this is all properly illuminated and we can see. All right, who's got a rope? I might have a rope. Who's got a rope? And Bait starts rustling through his stuff to see if he's got a
I
rope.
probably have a rope.
I have another question. Who here has dark vision? Because
I think
pretty
I
sure
do.
I
don't-
do. I know
I
Drows do.
I did not
I'm a
take into
human.
account dark vision. That wouldn't even require a roll if you had dark vision. Now that I think of it.
I have superior dark vision.
I will pull out my rope and I will throw it at him.
Okay, I will, because of my delights and superior dark vision, catch the rope. Wah! So I catch the rope, and what kind of check would I have to make to lasso the rope around like a piece of rock on the stairs up there?
Dexterity.
Okay, just regular old dexterity time.
Regular old dexterity, yeah.
That's a 13 total.
I'm gonna say you passed, yeah.
Okay, so I hook the lasso on there, and Bait, he's just gonna give it a tug to make sure that it's good. Should I make a strength check to see if this tug actually does anything?
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. I feel like this has happened before. Okay, that's a 16. So I assume this is a pretty. I give it a nice, and the rope feels pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to climb it. Bait's not talking. Bait's in a bad mood.
All right.
I will also start to climb up.
What we need is a climbing song.
Climb, 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 climb. That's the climbing song.
I'm gonna loop that forever under this whole episode. That's the soundtrack.
Goddamn.
Locke and Kalt, you guys climbing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I am effectively blind.
I cast anti-light for you.
You did, that's true.
I'm
So
a
yeah, I
friendly
will follow as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Do it, dog.
You climb up the rope and you make your way. You continue making your way up the stairs, and as you do, you come across like some more of those like zombie dudes, as it, for lack of a better term for them.
Are the flesh masses or the ones that were like screaming at us in the Magelord facility back in the town?
The ones that were like screaming at you.
Okay, gotcha. So so before we were able to just walk past them quietly.
What are they saying as we approach? Like, I assume we would hear them, like, because they were barking commands before. Like, what would they be saying now?
Shoot the bird! He killed our favorite pigeon, Dustin.
Look for the eagle. Oh, it's the rebels. Stuff like that.
Okay. When it says look for the eagle, Bait's just gonna like roll his eyes and like flatten himself against the wall and try to walk past them.
Important question. Are they actually zombies? Or are they just kind of like weird husks?
My undead senses are tingling.
Okay, this is important to note. They're not actually zombies. They're just weird husks, as it were.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I was about to say they could be my zombies if they were down.
Yeah,
for
as it were, though, it's a pretty narrow way.
Yeah.
So, like, you're going to have to find a way sort of around them as they're walking towards you.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna flatten myself against the wall.
So I have in my inventory,
You could make yourself an octopus and get really flat.
You're right.
I have a blowgun in my inventory. For some reason, at some point I got a blowgun. I would like to use this blowgun to like make a sound in the opposite direction. Hopefully they would go investigate it.
Wait, what?
The opposite direction, like from where they're coming from.
Like
Yeah, like send them
like
back where
shoot
they
a
came.
dart past them.
Because they're like coming towards us and it's a very narrow passageway, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
It could be like a dart or just like a spitball or whatever. Just something to
What if
make
you just
some.
threw the blowgun because you didn't know what it was?
No, I'm going to use the blowgun, and then I'm going to make a noise behind them to maybe, hopefully, catch their attention for a second, so we could have a moment to figure out what we're going to do.
Just let out a nice little toot.
I'd like to assist Kalt by using minor illusion as well when he does that.
You do just that, and, you know, I can't imagine this being difficult to do, so no roll needed. The two look behind them towards the direction of the noise. The focus of their eyes from the dancing lights towards the sound.
Using message, I'm going to kind of try and communicate.
So what's the plan? I don't know if we can sneak around them. This is a very narrow passageway.
Who are you messaging?
I'll say bait.
Looking at our Chowder, how far have we progressed from the thing we just climbed? Are we like still like? Did we just get up over the edge of the broken stairs, or have we been walking for a bit?
You've been walking for a bit. You're like one floor above where that was.
Okay. So when you message me, I'm able to respond quietly, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, either we need a way to make sure that we can teleport to the top without exhausting ourselves again, or we just push them down the stairs and hope they keep falling. Bait says that sarcastically, but after saying it, like, looks at Kalt like, I was being sarcastic.
Can I cast message to conference in?
Yeah.
I like this.
Let's get a teleconference
I like this.
going.
Yeah, okay. And I'll be like, hello, how about we just have Locke push them off the side of the stairs?
That's fine. But won't they make a big noise? Would that alert everybody else where we're here? I could keep on using this blowgun, and I could keep on pushing them further and further back, and we could just keep on distracting them.
Okay, yeah. Bait just like, at the idea of Locke just says, oh shit, Locke can't hear us, can he? We're kind of,
Oh, how are we going to tell them to push him off the edge, guys? I could use your help on this one.
I'm just going to say out loud, hey, Locke, push him off the edge.
You hear in your ear.
Well done.
How many of them are there?
2.
Was it 2?
Yep.
Okay. I would like to hold my halberd sideways and rush at them to try to push them both off.
Okay, I'm going to say make a contested strength check.
Okay. That is a natural 20.
Wow.
Wow. You do this with flying colors, man. Like both dudes like pushed off with your halberd, and you do it with like such expert timing that like they don't really get to make a noise before falling. And by the time they do make a noise, they're pretty well on their way down.
Okay. Bait just gives a thumbs up and keeps going up the stairs.
All right. So.
Kind of begrudgingly as I put away my blowgun.
I think the blowgun thing could have worked, but that's fine. Whatever. Never get a chance to use this thing anyway.
We can still hear you, Kalt. Do you want to disconnect the thing?
No, I want you to hear this. I'm upset. I'm not just speaking to myself like some child.
So yeah, we keep going up the stairs.
All right.
What more you got, Chowder? Hit me with it. Hit me with this bad staircase experience.
Well, anyways, you're at the top now, and you're at a.
No.
Yep. Sorry to disappoint. And you're at a sort of guard station, right? And through a door, you'd be walking along the wall. You see a table with like a bunch of like junk papers. You wish you could have read them, but like they are just in no good order.
Looking at the top here, I just want to recall, because obviously we were originally sent here by the Admiral. He told us to go, like, get a thing out of the place. Was he pointing to one of the salt spires, or was he pointing to this castle?
He was not pointing to the castle. He was pointing towards the salt spire. As you may or may not remember, there is like a giant, like, needly tower off in the salt spires.
Yeah,
Yep.
in the distance. So we're still pretty far from those spires. Okay.
Yeah, and the way to get to that is through the castle, as it were.
All right. So Bait is going to stop at the table. He's going to rustle the papers around and just kind of like, no, well, damn, can't do anything with those. He's going to turn to the group and say, all right, this is probably our best shot out of the city, but and then gesturing at the hillside, it's like, it's going to be pretty open terrain between here and there. And if we're being hunted, that's bad news. I guess I should also probably say, in the past where we just were, those Magelords were absolutely holding and executing innocent people from my village, so I don't know if this is a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of situation here, but, sorry, didn't mean to reflect upon my own injuries. And Bait, like, trying to stay level, just really, really trails off a bit and says, I mean, I know we're here to save Florence, but we might be able to save a lot more people than that.
I mean, but
What time of day is it?
Time for you to get a watch.
It's probably not that long, because you said it was a half hour getting from the house to the town, and I imagine the whole bridge thing took place over a couple minutes, so it's still probably early in the day.
Like maybe, let's say, the equivalent of 10:30.
Okay.
10:30. Okay, so like mid-morning-ish.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're scared of being out in the open, then maybe we just need to find this guy and, maybe if we show him that we've released these people somehow, then he'll stop thinking we're Magelords and stop trying to pew-pew us.
But how? I mean, what would it matter if we released your friends, Bait, if they're about to be wiped out entirely? The only reason you survived is you were not here.
Bait thinks on this for a second and then says, you seem very preoccupied with the idea that something we do in the past will tangibly affect our present. What better way to prove that than this? The scale of it, the goodness of it. And you can tell he's not being like super rational.
But unless they are planning to meet up with you outside of this, what would it matter? If they plan on staying here and fighting the Magelords, they're going to die all the same.
He holds the crystal up in the air and says, not when we've got a way out for them.
Well, we tried that.
We've used the crystal around other people, and it does not take them back with us.
Bait's heart, like, face sinks. when you say that, and he's just like, there's got to be something. There has to be something. We can't have come all the way back here for there to be nothing.
Bait. Who is captured here in the past?
Everyone I cared about before meeting everyone I met in the Badlands. And he like wipes his eyes.
Everybody you cared about, is your family? Is it your friends? Is it your compatriots, your battle buddies? Like what? Who is here?
Bait, I am going to let you in on something you would have known. You are a student under Osmeros. Well, there were more than just Osmeros as, like, elders that were very much leaders in your druidic tribe. They all had strong disagreements about how to handle the Magelord problem. Do we do this the traditional way and handle this peacefully? That's what we've been doing for a while now. Do we, fight and, drive them out? And this was a big debate because you are a peaceful people. But as you may have noticed at the protests, the younger folk were more inclined to, use force. And, there were a couple of elders who you would have known closely as a student of Osmeros, and, they opted to choose a more forceful solution, and as a result, they were targets and they were captured.
So, would Osmeros be captured, or would just, would they only have targeted... Would the Magelords only have targeted the violent people, or would they have targeted everybody that they could, excuse?
They would have claimed to target only the violent ones, but they would pick anyone who they would consider a threat to them. And
somebody who fits the profile.
And I'm going to ask you, Colin, would Osmeros be one of the captured ones?
I was about to say, I think that is a huge motivation for Bait. Is maybe everyone didn't know. If the Magelords trying to attack a celebrated figure would raise a lot of eyebrows, so if it happened, I feel like Bait would have been one of the few people to know about it and try to do something about it. So I would say yes.
Okay, then that is the direction we're going. Osmeros and other elders are amongst the captured in the castle.
Okay. So then Bait is going to... Bait will reply to Kalt, everyone that mattered to my civilization. And I relay the idea that, there are a lot of pacifists in the group, but the Magelord just steamrolled over them. So the people who were just trying to live their lives out here in the woods, in their home, got pushed into these cells. And Osmeros he believes he's doing the right thing, and he's not. Doing nothing is what got everyone killed. So if we can get him out, if we can change the minds of these people to fight back, maybe they don't have to die.
What makes you think that their minds could be so easily changed?
Bait gestures at himself and he says, it's pretty obvious that I'm not the Bait that left. If we can convince them, hey, cool, maybe we could avert this whole thing. If we can't, well, then I don't even know why I'm here. What you said was way better. What I said was really depressing. I like what you said a lot better.
Me too. Let's go. Let's try at the very least, Worst case, we somehow go back to the shore and, the Magelord guy, Captain,
Admiral
Kahutek. I really wanted to say Akbar, but I knew that was wrong.
I heard that, yeah.
Admiral Kahutek will have to take us back. So let's just try. What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
Well, you're the, expert in this Bait. Where are the cells in this palace?
I'm not exactly sure. I never made it into the palace. I got away. We were regrouping off the island when everything went down. We were preparing to come in, so I kind of missed that little detail. I was trying to get that information, and then you saw what happened when I fell. I got shot.
Well, I guess let's, at the very least, since we do have, limited time, we can take it easy. We'll be able to rest here for the night if needed. And then, come tomorrow, though, we should probably keep moving.
Yes, I think that is a good idea. I mean, if we're looking for a dungeon, it'd probably be lower down. I don't think a lot of places put cells at the very tippy top.
Well, then, let's get in there. And hey, who knows? Osmeros might know what the hell we're even supposed to be looking for in here. And Bait will start to walk down the ramparts toward the castle.
And then it's revealed that I am Osmeros the entire time.
You were all Osmeros the entire time.
Osmeros was just the friends we made along the way.
Oh my god.
Osmeros means family.
Do we want to walk across do we want to like rest here at the top of the okay, I guess Bait will say it's like, do we want to rest up here, or do we want to at least try to hit the castle first, see if we can have a more fortified position?
Let's hit the castle first.
I guess we probably should, so we don't get Eldritch blasted in the ass.
Perhaps there could be a secluded area where we could review some logs or books or something that might give us some clues on exactly what happened. Maybe they have a library.
Very true. I will say, Magelords not very keen on books for people.
What, like books for dogs or something? How does that work?
What the hell is a book for dogs?
You said they're not keen on books for people.
I guess I should say books for the people. They try to keep information at the top. It's kind of a classist thing.
Well, we're at the top, I suppose.
Oh, you dead motherfucker. Okay,
Woof!
let's... Okay.
Am I the only one? Bait has begun to speak in riddles. I am befuddled. No, dog books and information at the top.
I imagine you're like walking and talking as the soldier.
Yeah, we're walking and talking.
Yeah. Okay, listen.
Motherfucker.
If you listen, if you look around you, if you see all the hills and all the barren everything, that was all trees. This was all trees, and this is where we all lived. It was home. We lived in the trees. We sang songs about them. The lullabies were about the lands that we shared with the world and the animals, and then now we're on top of a wall. The Magelords, in case you couldn't tell by the wall, what they decide is more important to them than whatever the hell was there first. And if books are going to undermine people's belief in Magelord values, books are gone. Shelter is gone. Freedom is gone. You saw the riots. When they decide that they want something, they just try to take it.
And give it to dogs?
Kalt, I need you to stick with me. You're the one who brought up dogs.
No, you said they
Okay.
didn't have any books for people.
I said they weren't big on books for people. I tend to speak pretty casually.
They would still have some form of record, journals of their own proceedings, maybe plans. I assure you they have some form of magical library to sustain their skills.
Locke, oh my god, Locke, how have you managed to converse with this person so readily for so long? Can you help me out a little bit? Give me something, Locke.
You know, being as old as I am, you learn to kind of just tune out the noise.
Oh, hit you with that being old stuff there.
Okay, well, fair enough. I guess I shouldn't expect much else from you at this point. And then he just kind of keeps hustling forward.
So we're going to like the top of the ramparts to like take a short rest, and then we're gonna start.
We're
trying
on
to
top of the
find-
wall at this point, right?
Okay,
Like we're
all right.
on the wall walking toward the castle, and this is like a walk and talk.
Yep. Also, question. I probably should have just asked this when Colin was talking about ramparts earlier, but what's a rampart exactly?
It is like the elevated like parts of the wall that you can walk on.
Okay, then in which case, when you asked me if there were ramparts, there were indeed ramparts. I don't know if I said yes or no to that
Excellent.
question.
You
but
did. Yeah, you did. You did. So,
Google definition, a defensive wall of a castle or walled city having a broad top with a walkway, typically a stone parapet.
There you go. Yeah. So that's what we're walking across right now, assuming that we're not getting bapped in the face. So yeah, Bait just kind of like throws it to Locke and then keeps walking. Roleplay is fun.
Well, Bait, since you're about to introduce us to your former master, maybe you could tell us a bit about him. Or them. I don't want to presume gender.
So, Chowder, I could actually use a little bit of history here. So, I know that Bait's memory has been a little cloudy on a few things. I'm going to say...
Conveniently.
If you're okay with this, Chowder, conveniently. I'm going to say that the memory of Osmeros is clear. I would say that, like, finding out what happened to Osmeros is very important to Bait.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, what do I know about this figure?
Osmeros was wise to a number of subjects about nature and about the gods themselves, which is ultimately a big mystery to most people.
Yeah.
And like Osmeros, he was always big on handling things the way your people have always handled. He was one of the ones who advocated for peace, which is something you disagreed with. You know, you very much felt like maybe that might not be the solution. The day Osmeros did get captured, the Magelords barged into the tent town and basically captured a good chunk of any kind of resistance and brought them to the prison. What happened to them after that, you're not sure.
Bait says, Osmeros was an elder, but more importantly, he was a teacher. I can turn into a lot of animals, and unlike some of us in the group, maintain my mental faculties when I do so. There was a long and proud history of us sharing our world with the animals and the plants around us, and becoming like them was a big part of that. We had a disagreement when the Magelords asserted themselves. When we first saw their sails, he was perfectly peaceful. He brought everyone to the shore with open arms to welcome them, and they repaid him by throwing them in that prison. So I spent all those years during this great charm offensive being told, you can't be violent, you're gonna be like them, when hey, guess what? That might have been the only way out.
Do you think there is a chance that him seeing you as you are now will affect his demeanor in any way? Do you think he will change his mind?
I have a feeling that if he sees the inside of a Magelord cell the same way that I have the many, many times I've been in one, that he'll know he's not making it out of there without any sort of help. So if he decides to come with us, it's because he's decided to live.
And I don't mean to blunt your edge so early, but what makes you so sure that they are still alive?
Hope. I've been clawing my way around the Badlands for years, trying to get back here to find out what happened. I never dreamed that there would be a chance he would be alive, so this is further than I ever thought I'd get. I just wanted to know that I wasn't the one that killed him. But what if I could be the one to save him? That'd be nice.
It would, but I fear that even now, that goal is still quite far. And I believe even before we get to the end of this, if we preliminarily save him, it might be difficult for him to accept what will happen.
Then maybe we don't tell him what's about to happen. Let's do what we do best. Let's bust him out, let's wing it. If he can tell us what we're going to find in those salt spires, then hey, all the better for it. But I have to try. If you don't come with me, I'm still going to try.
You find yourselves at the point where the walls meet the castle. You find a small room where, like, the guards would basically change shifts. And past that room, where some beds are laid out and stuff, is the door that would enter into the castle. What do you do?
I enter into the castle. Now, Bait is actually gonna, like, take a deep breath. Hey, I know I am a trying person, and that you do not necessarily enjoy my company. But I've spent a lot of time in the Badlands trying to figure out what to do and what I would do if I got here. And I want to say thank you for being here now. Whatever that means, whatever you feel about me. A lot of people feel very specific ways about me that we don't need to litigate here, but I want to say thanks.
Okay, Colin, but what does Bait say?
Walked right into that one, bud.
Hey.
Fucking got him!
All right, wrap it up. That's the podcast. All right.
Everything he says is bold. I said it.
That was a great episode, guys. That was quite an emotional roller coaster. I'm gonna go anywhere else and not cry right now. Okay. After saying that, nothing happens at all. And then Bait walks into the door.
Are the doors like wide open? Or are they closed?
Or is there even a door? Or is it just like a gaping void?
Well, there used to be a door. It's gone. You can still see the hinges.
I want to before I enter, I want to investigate around like the precipice and see if there might be any like traps or magical stuff that might alert somebody of our presence, that sort of thing. Like if there's like a magical alarm system or a physical one.
Do we see the blue glow of a Magic Simply Safe
Are you going to
console?
do detect magic?
I was just gonna search for any obvious signs because I don't want to waste 10 minutes.
That's fair.
But if somebody else has that unlocked, that'll be fine. Do you want me to roll Arcana or investigation or what?
I would say it falls under, you're looking for traps, that would be investigation or survival.
All right, I'll do investigation.
I'd like to peer out over the ramparts and try to look below us to get a feel for our surroundings. When you're
Like
done
towards
with Ryan.
Towards the city, I assume?
More towards like the castle grounds.
That
okay,
is
got it.
a 5 plus 9, 14.
14. You don't detect any traps.
All right, cool.
You're trying to get a look at the castle grounds from the ramparts?
Pretty much, yeah. And I'll roll whatever you make me roll.
Okay, perception.
That is a 13 plus 1.
14. Alright, so the castle has multiple floors, about like 4 floors, not thinking about basements or anything like that. There's a courtyard in the middle, and ultimately it's a big old rectangular-ish shape. I think that's the important things that you'd be able to see from your vantage point.
Okay. So 4 floors, there's the courtyard. Okay.
You're going through the door, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, I think we're all going through the door.
Just like our party, the door is unhinged.
Yeah. Alrighty.
What was that?
I don't know. Anytime I make a pun, I just go yeah, because it's funny.
God, session 4, it's starting to hit us, isn't it?
Oh boy, tell me about it.
I poured myself some whiskey for this one.
All right, so you're currently in a room. It's a fairly unremarkable room, more of a transitory thing. To your left, you see like a short set of stairs. Not like a whole go down the next floor, but like a 5 or 10 step kind of thing to go into something. And in front of you is another room. You can see into another room where there are 2 tables facing each other.
Okay.
Bait's gonna just walk into the room with the 2 tables and look around, investigate.
Table, is it like set up like a courtroom kind of, or is it set up like a dining area? Like, is it obvious what its purpose is?
Okay, no, it's
Beer pong?
It's more like a check-in and check-out kind of thing where
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Bait, I just rolled investigation, by the way. That's a nat 20 if anyone's interested. But with modifier, I got a 23 investigation. Gonna look around those tables, see if I can find anything.
Yeah, is there any like guest badges?
That's a good question.
What you find are some papers, just like your stuff like right at the bridge, send more help and stuff like that. You also find the tattered, burnt identifications. You can't really make out the name of who those identifications belong to, but in the past they might have been usable. Too bad.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have the mending cantrip. Now it says it repairs a single break or tear in an object I touch. Would that apply to these badges?
I'm going to say no. This is not a
Okay.
because one, it's been like in this state for so long that's just how it is in a sense.
Okay.
So
Yep,
yeah,
that's fair.
You can tell because of the way that it is.
it's
See, Matt knows a thing or two about aspen trees.
I hate you.
Sorry. Okay, so yeah, Bait's gonna look around, like ruffling through the paper, seeing the warnings about the bridge. He's just gonna sort of say out loud, "There's 3 days until everything goes to shit, and the most recent thing they have on their pile is about the rebel riots. What the hell was happening?" And after finding only that, is gonna walk toward the others.
I mean, keep in mind this is just like
Yeah, whatever's floated to the top. He's not like he's not like making a big point of it. He's just like, it's kind of weird. They must not have had their shit together. What?
You know what that means, though?
What's that means, though?
We affected the past, and we can see that here.
Bait raises his eyebrows, points to Kalt. Hey, buddy.
Well, that's a good point. Well, this would be a question for you, Bait. Was there a riot as such as this in the time of your leaving here?
There was. At this point, I was already off the island and everything, so no idea. As far as I know, that was all me. Sorry about that, by the way. Got kind of swept up in the moment.
We should look for any reports discussing what had happened. I mean, I did something very specific with those beasts. If it mentions that, it would be maybe proof.
That's true. Can I ride that investigation to take a closer look at some of the even if it takes me a few minutes, just like to read through some stuff?
Or, I mean, they had a picture of us and were like, hey, those are the guys. Maybe there's a wanted sign of us somewhere.
Yeah, importantly, not a picture, a description, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Potato. If there's a description of us.
Potato. I guess world building wise.
A words picture.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So, riding that investigation along, you dig further through the papers, and you're getting reports from day before of people infiltrating the barracks on the what would have been like the lower west side, something like that. Anyways,
West side.
And how they might be responsible for inciting the bridge incident. So that's what you're getting from that.
So at this moment, Bait has a thought that knocks his socks off, and he turns to Kalt and Locke and says, "Could this be Lema?"
What do you mean?
Think about it. What we experienced on Arianor was not a natural passage of time. It was looping in a way that didn't. If you really scrutinize it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So clearly there was someone affected.
You're right.
If this were a naturally occurring thing, we would expect some more strict rules. But like here, the relationship between time with these crystals, there is an intent behind what we're experiencing. This is not happenstance. So I'm questioning, and Bait did not disclose the full conversation with Lema that he had to everyone else. Could this be Lema acting upon this?
So, interesting thought. This is Ryan speaking. We haven't, I don't think you told us at all that you had a conversation with Lema.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if, we connected the dots that he was trying to, summon forth the power of Lema, but we never really got as far as to, discussing that in context. So,
Yes.
Kalt's I do not know much. Why do you think this would be Lema and not some other power? And why do you think it's not somebody using her power?
Bait bites his tongue a little bit and then says, "We had a conversation about the nature of godhood. We know that what Strauss was trying to do with the Magelords was ascend to godhood. As far as I can tell, and don't tell Osmeros that this is my particular school of thought if we come across him, as far as I'm concerned, gods are just people that got way out of check. I mean, don't quote me on that, but a god, if Strauss can become a god, then who can't? There are gods, there are major gods, minor gods, greater, lesser, whatever politics you want to assign to it. Lema is a being with powers and an agenda. Maybe it is another god, but what agenda is causing us to experience things this way, just as we did on Arianor?" And Bait is clearly not gunning for a specific answer. He's just kind of having the open-ended conversation.
I mean, the power, the magics that caused the great catastrophe, they're massive. The effects spread across the entire globe. It's entirely possible whatever magics that caused it could have tore a hole into...
Yeah, maybe don't tell Osmeros the world is a globe. He wasn't keen... No, I'm not kidding. He wasn't a flat earther. Never mind.
But it's entirely possible whatever magics, as large as they were, could have done something equally as catastrophic to time itself around here. We're talking power on a magnitude unheard of.
It's still strange that the crystals would be so consistent. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Talking frankly, we're talking about effectively the power of a god to change the world.
But if Strauss can do it, then it's attainable for other people too.
That's what I'm saying.
Lema seemed pretty, accepting of the idea that Strauss could ascend if he wanted to.
But maybe that's the point. Maybe the catastrophe, we've always said it was some form of move by somebody. It was an accident, but it was, man-made. What if they were using the power of a god? If Strauss can steal the power of a god, why wouldn't the mage lords of old be able to harness them in another way?
Can I ask for the other three to make an insight check for something I said?
For what?
We had a conversation.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Lema. And since nobody actually picked up on it there in the moment, would it be okay to roll an insight to
Yeah.
I mean, I picked up on it, but I couldn't tell if you were talking about Lema or we as a group had a conversation about godhood.
I said explicitly, Lema seemed accepting of the idea that Strauss could ascend to godhood.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely roll insight on that one.
All right.
That's a 6 + 1, 7.
Do you want to set the DC for that, Chowder, or do you want me to roll?
I'm setting the DC for that.
Cool.
We don't live in a world where it's that out of pocket to pray to a god and get response. So who knows?
What did everyone else get?
I have a 13 + 5.
Oh wow, you definitely.
I got 7.
Maeve, you passed the insight check.
Okay, so then I pick up on that the Lema says thing, and I was like, did you say Lema says?
Guess I did,
Which is
didn't
funny
I?
because because Maeve also wasn't there. Interesting.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense.
Did-
Maeve might
did
have
you-
some perspective on this.
Did you actually talk to her?
Okay, so full disclosure, Lema is extremely aware of us and what we are doing, which is maybe why my mind went straight there. So,
Kaltsk.
it didn't seem important at the time. And he's kind of
Were you ever planning on telling us this?
really uncomfortable.
Man, that just seems like being watched by a god would be pretty stinking important, but that's just me, the DM, not anybody in the world.
Yeah.
So you get to decide what's important to tell people and what's not important?
We have drawn the eyes of a celestial being, a god, and you thought it wasn't worth noting.
Okay, listen, to be fair, I've been working on getting back here for a long, long time. A lot of people have let me down in a lot of ways, and I didn't know how you guys would react, given, how you normally react to things I do and say. My B.
Anything else that you got hidden up in that greasy little noggin of yours that you want to let us in on?
Bait wants, you can see anger on his face. He wants to snap out at Locke, and he is holding it back in. I'm doing the best I can. If I can't afford to tell everyone everything at Locke, fucking big whoop. You've been through worse.
I've been through worse because of you, asshole.
It is time to put the cards on the table, Bait. You've been hiding too much from us for too long. If you want our help in saving your masters, it's time to lay the cards down. Who are you, what are you, and what is going on, and why do you feel you must hide these things?
Because everybody else has failed. Because for however long I've been swimming around in that fucking soup of the Badlands, getting sucked to Farpoint, to ship, to Turtle Island, it is to Feldrum and everywhere in between. It is just a colossal mountain of failure. And if I gotta throw a couple of people to the wolves now and again, so what? Everyone's trying to survive. I am here because this is my home. You want to get back, pointing to Maeve and Locke, you want to get back to the mainland. You want to get back to your family. I wanted to get here. I wanted to find Osmeros, and Lema promised us there was a way to do it. There was a way to go back. And she was right. At the ends justify the means. Right?
You hear footsteps coming from the ramparts. They're far off, but...
Bait does not. I'm gonna say Bait straight up doesn't notice and is gonna just go straight to Locke. And listen, if you want to complain about everything you've been through, if you want to blame me for everything that's happening, why don't you blame the Magelords that put you here in the goddamn first place?
We do blame them, Bait.
The Magelords aren't people who are supposed to be maybe not my friend, but someone I partner with, someone I would trust or would hope would trust me to have their back. It's a completely different situation. They are my oppressor. You're supposed to be my adventure mate. You're supposed to be someone that I can rely on to not sell me out and put my life in danger to further their own means. We're supposed to be a group.
Wait.
You made it out in one piece.
You had no way of knowing that.
Bait, does 23 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna take 4 Eldritch Blasts, my friend.
Take care of this for me.
Roll for history,
18.
16.
Nat 20.
Wait, are you guys serious? Oh, I got an 8.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm eating chips. Hang on.
Oh my god. No eating while recording the podcast.
I was finishing up, okay? I was finishing up my lunch. Okay. Hold on. Let me take a drink.
Let me take another bite of a chip and then start.
Let me go snarf some more salsa.
Let me get some peanut butter up in my mouth real quick so I can do this.
That way it'll
recap.
look like I'm talking even when I'm not.
No.